So the next phase of the energy transition, we look at the energy trilemma. So under energy trilemma, there are three main sections of the energy trilemma. So we have a secure energy system, a sustainable energy system, and an equitable energy system. So when it comes to the sustainable energy system, the mitigation or reduction of greenhouse gas emissions as part of the minimizing the impacts of climate change falls under sustainable, under equitable, reducing fuel poverty, and then in terms of security, making sure when we talked about the diversity of supply of energy systems secure to provide the energy that society needs. So the figure we have here is showing a number of transition readiness, which requires innovation, upgrade of infrastructure, education, and human capital. And then there are other aspects of core enablers, regulations, and also the level of investments which are required. So the next section, we look at the fuel poverty. So under the energy trilemma, equitable is the fuel poverty. Now, different countries may have different definition, or different organizations may have different definitions of fuel poverty. In the UK, fuel poverty is defined as the inability to afford adequate warmth. Fuel poverty is measured using a metric called low income, low energy efficiency. Different countries, different locations, different organizations may use different metrics. There are several UK government policies to tackle the fuel poverty scheme, green homes, grants. So understanding the equitable aspect of the energy trilemma, and in this instance, looking at the fuel poverty, highlights the need to have an affordable energy or reduce the energy cost, look for opportunities to increase the energy efficiency in buildings and other systems, and provide sustainable energy access for all. There are community-based initiatives to minimize fuel poverty. So in this section, we are going to look at a net zero energy system. So we already talked about, to achieve a net zero by 2050, there is a need to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. And so the transition to a net zero energy system is a critical step in mitigating the effects of climate change. So we are going to look at a BCG report, which looks at 5 critical technology levers that can be used to achieve a net zero energy system. So we're going to have a deep dive and a look into these 5 key technology levers. So these are the 5 main technology levers for CO2 energy related emissions based on 2021 and by 2050 modeling data. So the 34 gigatons of energy related CO2 emissions down to 19 gigaton more until 2050. So in terms of the reduction percentages, you have 23% for the increases in energy efficiency of modern appliances, insulation of buildings, smart meters, and changes in behavior of demand. And then you have 22% for the electrification of end uses such as the electric vehicles, heat pumps, and electric arc furnaces. And then you have 26% for decarbonizing the power supply, such as using solar photovoltaic, flexible backup energy sources, expanded electric grids, and small modular nuclear reactors. And then you have 16% opportunity using low carbon hydrogen and hydrogen derivatives under the lower carbon fuels. And then you have 13% deploying carbon capture and storage, which is at the source of emissions, direct air capture, and natural emission sinks. The transition to net zero needs to happen roughly about 3 times faster than the previous energy transitions